If you really want to know what a city's priorities are, you don't listen to the speeches, you look at the purchase orders. Today, we're cracking open the city of Fredericksburg's spending data to uncover its real DNA. So let's follow the money and see exactly what story it tells. So, how do you get past all the official statements, the press releases, and find out what's actually going on? Where is a city truly putting its money, its focus, and its energy? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, and it's incredibly powerful. A city's purchasing decisions, the bids it puts out, the contracts it awards, that's a direct reflection of its real-world strategy. The money trail tells you pretty much everything you need to know. Now, there's a name for this process. It's called procurement analysis. And I know it sounds a little technical, but think of it like this. We're basically mapping a city's spending DNA. By digging through years of public contracts, we can see exactly what they're investing in, what they're putting off, and where they're probably headed next. And when it comes to Fredericksburg, this data is a total goldmine. We're talking about a huge range of information, going all the way back to 2017. And it even gives us a little peek into the future, with projects already planned out to 2025. That gives us a massive window into how this city operates. All right, so let's dive in. First up, the absolute basics, the bedrock of any city, its hard infrastructure. This is where you really see the most consistent and the most significant spending. And right away, a clear pattern jumps out. You've got the routine, must-do stuff like repaving the roads every single year, but then you see these huge capital projects, like the massive upgrade and expansion of the wastewater treatment plant. Now, that isn't just maintenance. That is a major long-term bet on the city's future growth. And that's really the big story here. This isn't just about patching up potholes as they appear. What the data shows is a very systematic, comprehensive strategy to overhaul the entire public works system, from the pumps to the pipes. Keeping that foundation strong is clearly priority number one. We see this same exact focus when it comes to city buildings. It's not random spending, it's very targeted. Just look at the Executive Plaza. It's getting a multi-phase overhaul of its core systems. They're modernizing their main administrative hub from the inside out, piece by deliberate piece. Okay, so beyond the concrete and steel, how is Fredericksburg investing in its people and in its own operational smarts? This is where we start to see a real focus on community spaces and the technology that actually runs the city. I absolutely love this slide because it shows you the city's playbook in action. So check this out. In late 2022, the city puts out a bid for architectural services for the visitor center. That's step one. Then, less than a year later, what happens? Boom, step two. The full renovation project goes out for bid. For any contractor out there, this is a clear signal. Follow the studies because they almost always lead directly to the next big construction project. And this focus on public spaces is just everywhere in the data. We see money going into new playgrounds, better restrooms at the parks, and even major renovations at the local pool. It's a very clear, very sustained effort to improve the quality of life for the people who actually live there. At the same time, behind the scenes, they're rebuilding the city's digital backbone. They're implementing a new enterprise resource planning system, an ERP, which is a huge project to modernize how the city manages everything from its finances to its people. You add in a new public safety system and more fiber optic cable, and you can see a major push to leave old, clunky technology in the past. Okay, so we've looked at all the individual puzzle pieces, the infrastructure, the parks, the technology. Now let's put them all together and see what the big picture looks like. What is the grand strategy that's emerging from all this data? This is where we learn how to read the signals. And this is so important. You have to know the difference between a firm commitment and, well, a maybe. On the left, you've got your awarded bids. These are green lights. The funding is there, the projects are happening, pavement, building modernizations, park upgrades. But on the right, you've got the canceled bids. These are your yellow flags. Things like a covered stage for the park, new transit vehicles. These got paused, which can signal a shift in budget or maybe even strategy. So, when you put it all together, Fredericksburg's strategy really boils down to 4 key priorities. 1. Keep the core infrastructure modern and reliable. It's non-negotiable. 2. Make the public spaces better for everyone. 3. Always plan for the long term using data-driven studies. And 4. Upgrade the city's most important buildings and its core technology from top to bottom. That's the playbook. Okay, so this analysis isn't just some academic exercise. Understanding this strategy is the absolute key to unlocking real business opportunities. So let's translate these priorities into what they actually mean for different types of companies. For anyone in engineering or construction, the opportunities here are really obvious and really consistent. Paving and utility work, that's a steady drumbeat of business. The massive projects like the wastewater plant are the grand prizes. And all those facility and park upgrades create a constant need for general contractors. Now, if you're an architect or a consultant, the city's obsession with long-range planning is your best friend. They are constantly commissioning master plans and feasibility studies that require expert guidance. Just remember that visitor center example. Getting in on the planning stage can put you in the perfect position for the main project on the line. This strategy also carves out some fantastic opportunities for specialty trades and tech companies. All those building modernizations, that means targeted work for HVAC and electrical crews. The city is actively looking for new software, and unique projects, from historic repairs to new pedestrian bridges, create openings for those niche experts. And this isn't just a look back at the past. This strategy is playing out right now, today. There is a live, actionable opportunity on the table that proves this exact point. Here it is, a bid for engineering services for pedestrian bridges. This lines up perfectly with their priority of enhancing public and recreational spaces. It's a prime example of how the city's long-term strategy translates directly into real, tangible contracts that you can bid on. Fredericksburg's spending is telling a very clear story, and this kind of data exists for almost every city out there, which really leaves just one question. What story is your city spending telling? And are you listening?